All right, another verse I'd like to look at is 1 Corinthians chapter 16, starting in verse 1. A lot of people say that this was disciples coming together on Sunday morning, having Sunday morning worship service, taking up tithes and offering. That's not at all what's going on right here. Let's read it. Now concerning the collections for the saints, as I have given order to the churches of Galatia, even so do ye. Upon the first day of the week, let every one of you lay by him in store, as God has prospered him, that there be no gatherings when I come. And when I come, whomsoever ye shall approve by your letters, them will I send to bring your liberality unto Jerusalem. And if it be meet that I go also, they shall go with me. Now I will come unto you when I shall pass through Macedonia, for I do pass through Macedonia. Okay? This was not tithes and offerings. This was a collection for the poor saints, which was at Jerusalem. Okay? And why did Paul put this verse 5 in here? What's it got to do with the context is what's being talked about right here. Now I will come unto you when I shall pass through Macedonia, for I do pass through Macedonia. Why did Paul put that there? Paul is expounding on the context that's being talked about right here. If you remember back in Romans chapter 15, chapter 15, verses 25 and 26. But now I go unto Jerusalem to minister unto the saints, for it has pleased them in Macedonia and Achaia to make a certain contribution to the poor saints which were at Jerusalem. Okay, it's taking up a collection for the poor saints that was at Jerusalem. That's why Paul put this verse 5 in here. Paul went through Macedonia, took up a collection from them. He told Galatia to do the same. And now he's telling Corinth, and he's telling the people in Corinth that upon the first day of the week, let each man lay by him in store. In other words, have it ready. For when Paul gets there, that there be no gatherings when I come. They're not actually taking up the collection upon the first day of the week. Paul's telling each man to lay by him in store, that when I come, there will be no gatherings. Okay? This is not tithes, this is not offerings. This is for the poor saints that were at Jerusalem. Okay? This is no way talking about the Lord's Sabbath. Alright? Why did Paul tell them to do it upon the first day of the week? Okay? If you read the Old Testament and studied the Old Testament, you know that you're not to handle money on the Lord's Sabbath. You're not to pollute the Lord's Sabbath day with money. Okay? If you look in Nehemiah chapter 13, verses 15 through 22, this will help explain why you're not to handle money on the Sabbath. That's why Paul told them to do it upon the first day of the week. If they were keeping the Lord's Sabbath, if you remember from what we just said, that the Sabbath ended in that evening and the first day of the week began that afternoon. While they were having their worship service there on the Sabbath, they was reminded that upon the first day of the week, in other words, do it tonight where you don't forget it. Because you know how you are, you get busy during the week, working, trying to provide for your family, and sometimes it's not on purpose, but just human nature to forget something like that. So Paul said, do it upon the first day of the week. Do it tonight, after the Sabbath. Okay? That's what's being said here. You know, a lot of people call the first day of the week the Lord's Day. They say that's the day that the Lord rose from the grave, upon the first day of the week. The first day of the week is not the Lord's Day. The Sabbath day is not the Lord's Day. The Lord's Day has not come yet, okay? The Lord's Day is after the seventh trump, okay? When the Lord comes back arrayed in all of His glory to take what's His and take out His vengeance upon this wretched earth, okay? A lot of people go to Revelation 1:10. Let's look at that. And they're saying that John was in the Spirit on Sunday. That's not what's being said here. Let's read it. I was in the Spirit upon the Lord's day, and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet. What's the book of Revelation about, people? The book of Revelation is about the coming of Jesus Christ and the events that happened before and the events that happen after, okay? And what does it say right here in the latter part of this verse? And heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet. What happens when the Lord comes back? The seventh trumpet blows. That's what's being talked about right here. That's what the day of the Lord is. That's the Lord's day. We have a video coming out pretty soon about this one topic, about the day of the Lord, the Lord's day. It's just verse after verse after verse explaining what the day of the Lord is. The Lord's day. This is not Sunday. This is not any day of the week. The Lord's day has not come yet. And when it does, you will know it. Okay?